All right, we're back. There's no music, no lights,
No Tim.
no Tim. We're waiting on him. He's running a little bit late, so we're hoping to get him in for next week.
If you guys find Tim, let us know.
The seat's here.
We'll fill his chair.
I don't know if you could tell, but I have all my equipment out here, so he doesn't even need to bring anything other than a laptop or just his cell phone. That's what Mark works off of.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Okay, so there's no Palmer. There's also no running backs in Baltimore.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate if you drafted one early.
For sure. It's definitely unfortunate. Their injuries happen all the time, but that is a problem. Real quick, did you get in my suicide pool yet?
I did not, but if I do,
If you do?
when I do,
Okay.
I'm probably just going to pick whoever plays, maybe the Jets.
That's a lot of people do that. So I just wanted to get those numbers up. I think we have like 5 out of 30 invitations. So I mean, if you're in it, you have a good chance of winning. But it'd be nice to at least get 10, so you win $100 or something. But let's get right into it. Since we don't have music breaks and this and that, you want to start off with your power rankings? I know everybody is interested to hear these.
Yeah, well, I mean, after the draft, ESPN does their rankings, but we all know their rankings are useless.
Questionable.
If you look at last year, the guy who was ranked 12th won the league. The guy who was ranked first pretty much finished in 12th.
Who was first last year?
I can't remember who
I
exactly it
assumed it was
was.
Palmer. I was hoping. Well, not with Drake, I don't think.
But, you know what? This year, I decided not to look at ESPN's and look at my own. So coming in at number 12, I have Boner in Sweatpants.
Ooh.
He not big on the running backs. Starting DeAndre Swift, who's now implicated for maybe murder.
That's an interesting...
At least a rumor.
Yeah, that came up, I think, today.
Gibson's good. Prescott, he's coming back hurt, so who knows. And then not a big fan of the receivers. So to me, that is the weakest team. The only person I really like there is Kelsey.
And for the record, Boner in Sweatpants is second on ESPN.
Well, there you go.
So there's a big discrepancy.
Coming in at number 11, we have the So Agenda.
Okay, going against...
Yeah, they lost. Again, didn't have strong running backs to me to begin with.
Oh,
then
goodness.
lose Gus Edwards. That's the big loss, not to mention lost his tight end already too.
That was draft day. He lost his tight end.
So lost a running back and a starting tight end before the season even began. Got a good quarterback, some good receivers, but too many other holes.
He went from 5 on draft day till 12 today, so he is ranked last.
Then coming in at number 10, we have the Confederate States of America. I like Mahomes and Elliott, but after that, I'm not a big fan of anyone. Second running back, Cooper Kupp is his number 1 receiver. He's a good receiver, but he's maybe a number 3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a 2. Cole Beasley, I'm not even sure if Cole Beasley would be drafted in most leagues. So I think what we know what he was going for there.
Absolutely.
Coming in at number 9.
He was third and went to 6th so far today.
Well, there you go. Coming in at number 9, I have Dirty Sanchez.
Ooh.
I thought Stu had a really good draft last year. This year, I like some of his players, but I'm not sold on Hurts yet. I'm not a big fan of Mixon and T. Higgins either. So I do like Kamara. I like Chris Godwin. Hurts, he might put up big numbers if they're down, but who knows? I think he's a big question mark.
He started 11th and moved up to 10th, so he's improving.
So, yeah, and I have him at 9th. So
That's close.
coming in at 8th, we have the Crumb Snatchers.
Oh.
I like this team a lot better than I did last
I was
year.
going to say that's the biggest
Compliment
compliment you've given him in a calendar year.
Najee Harris and Austin Eckler at running back. I think that's a good tandem.
Isn't Eckler back
even
up right
though
now?
Eckler might be hurt. Stafford, I hear a lot of good things about him. And then Allen Robinson and Robert Woods are 2 solid receivers. Not the studs who have big names, but they put up big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he has a solid team all around.
He started at 10. He moved all the way up to 8.
And that's where I have him at.
You're right on with ESPN.
So my power rankings must be Horrible. Coming in number 7, I have batting Lawn.
Ooh, 7.
Uh,
Bottom half of the league.
Matt Ryan, you know, he puts up big numbers. I'm just not sold on him. I do like the running backs in Cook and Edwards-Helaire. Montgomery's a good number 3, but I'm not sold on the receivers in Moore and Johnson. I've never been a DJ Moore fan. I think Deontay Johnson will be a little bit better this year. If can get that second receiver, I'm just not a big fan of Moore. And then Kyle Pitts, I think, is a wild card. He could move the team up, or he could drop it.
Kyle Pitts is absolutely a wild card. Matt Ryan is a place setter until Trey Lance starts, which could not happen either. But you know how I am with quarterbacks.
So, yeah, pick him
I'm
late.
waiting for Herbert to get on the next Herbert to come up. And also with the receivers, I believe I have Ayuk. So I have a bench. I know that my receivers are weak, so I did draft heavy there.
Coming in at number 6, we got the Brady Bunch.
I'm sorry, I went from 8th to 9th, so I'm at 9th right now.
Okay, all right. So, you know, right now I'm tracking
Well,
a
this
little
one I'm
too
interested
close.
in, the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch. I like the running backs. I think Miles Sanders was a little underrated this year in the draft. McCaffrey, solid. Brady, I think he's going to put up big numbers this year all around. Their offense is loaded. And then Keenan Allen and Adam Thielen, I think, is a solid wide receiver duo. Damian Harris, Tyler Boyd, I think, is a solid bench. And then Pat Freiermuth, who knows what he's going to do at tight end as a backup. So I like this team as a middle of the pack number 6 seed.
He went from 2 to 1. He and Joey switched spots from 1 and 2. So as it sits right now, he's the best team in the league according to ESPN.
Well, not according to me. Number 5, we have Don't Be Dumb. No vax equal low IQ. I almost dropped him just for the name.
I was going to say, that's a lot.
But I think he did a good job drafting. You know, Rodgers, Derrick Henry, 2 solid picks. Jefferson and A.J. Brown, 2 good receivers. A.J. Brown's kind of a question mark. He's injured here and there, but when he plays, he puts up huge numbers. Second running back is really what drops him for me. Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. He has both of them, but who's he going to start? I'm not a big fan of Williams at this point.
I'm not a fan of either of them.
I'm not a fan of Gordon. So that's really what's dropping his team down for me. Solid bench, but I think it's a, maybe low-end, high-tier team, high-end, middle of the pack.
He went from 4 to 3.
Speaking of 4, I got Gravity's Rainbow.
What does that name mean?
That is a good question.
You don't know? I don't know.
We'll have Tim find out.
He's
and he can contribute next
guy.
week.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill, although I'm not his biggest fan, I think he's a good fantasy quarterback along with Aaron Jones. DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Lockett, I think is one of the best receiving sets out there. Kittle is a solid tight end. Mike Davis, I'm not huge on, but he's the starter in Atlanta, so if he gets a majority of the carries, should be a good pick there. And then Justin Herbert and Chase Claypool on the bench. I think Herbert, maybe used as trade bait, who knows, or Tannehill, so I think his team is solid all around.
He went from 9 to 7.
All right. Number 3, I have the Rough Cats.
Ooh.
Last year, one
Don't
of the
talk
teams
about last year.
I had ranked the lowest. I thought he did a good job drafting. Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Calvin Ridley, and Robbie Anderson might be the best 5. Starting 5 I see out there. I'm not the big, Robbie Anderson, he's hit or miss, but the first 4 I think are great picks. Logan Thomas, who knows, but then Chase Edmonds is a starter in Arizona. I think Braga has a solid team.
He was 7 and bumped all the way to 4.
And coming in at number 2, we have the Thunder Gun Express.
I know just by process of elimination who your number 1 team is, and I'm very curious
Well, let's go to
to
number
hear
2
that one.
first.
So let's hear about Jack's squad.
So Kyler Murray is the top fantasy quarterback. Solid. Saquon Barkley and Chris Carson. I think one of the best running back duos as long as Barkley's hurt or not hurt and stays healthy. That might be as good as it gets. DK Metcalf is the top pick this year. Juju, I think, is going to get a lot of catches this year. so will be a good point guy. And then Jonnu Smith and Kenny Golladay is over in New York now. I think he might be a sleeper with Daniel Jones. So I think this...
It's a lot of the Giants' offense, huh?
Barkley and Golladay. But I think between Kyler Murray, Saquon Barkley, Chris Carson, DK Metcalf, and Juju, I think that's going to carry him.
And before you go any farther, oh, I'm sorry. You went from 12 to 11 on ESPN. Jack is 6 to 5. So you are ranked 11th on ESPN. Tell me about your team name and tell me why you feel that ESPN is wrong with their particular rankings.
Well, Ben's Baloney Boppers, number one.
The best name in the league.
We all heard about Ben last year. He stopped bopping his baloney.
He found the Lord.
And he started throwing a bunch of short passes. I think this year is a tribute to that, maybe he's going to bring it back and bring back the long ball. So, as a tribute to my quarterback, not my fantasy team's quarterback.
You don't have any of the hometown Steelers this year, do you?
I do not.
I know one particular position group you were very upset that you didn't get. The defense.
Yeah. My D, that was Bry guy, just trying to be a funny guy.
Trolling.
Picked his defense in the 8th round.
So let's talk about your squad. What are the good points of it?
Quarterback, running back, receiver, flex, tight end, defense, and kicker.
I think you have a good statement that's relatively true other than your second running back and your first tight end.
First tight end is a question mark. I'll agree with you on that. Yeah. My second running back, I'm sold on Leonard Fournette this year. I think he had a short off season.
Jones?
I think it's going to be Fournette.
Not Giovanni Bernard?
I think Fournette's going to be the workhorse.
Okay.
I think Fournette had a short off season last year, came in late, didn't start the season off. I think even active. So by the time he was just hitting his stride, it was the playoffs and the Super Bowl. And as you saw, that's when he really tore it up. So I think he's going to carry that into this year. I think he was a value pick at the time. Jonathan Taylor, I think, was going to be top 5. Wilson's always top 5. Hill and Evans are the best wide receiver duo in the league. And then Julio, Odell Beckham, and AB, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, I don't...
And these are my power rankings, so I'm going to rank my team first.
So I did power rankings as well. I did them differently. I didn't go through team by team. I just I did tiers. The average tier, I have Stu's team, Joey's team, who I have trending down because of Swift and Shark, Jack's team, which I actually have trending up, your team, which I have trending up, and Kurt's team, which I have trending down because of his wide receivers. The teams that need work, I have Abbott's team because I don't like Miles Sanders. I had him last year, and I cannot stand him now. Pat's team because his running backs are questionable at best. He has a lot of good wide receivers, so he could probably maneuver something and get a solid running back. Tagmeyer with his Denver running back situation. I have him on the needs work, and Bry Guy with Edmonds. These are all one spot fixes it, so I don't think I think everyone drafted really well. I don't think anyone's a laughing stock. If they're going to rank you second to last with Tyreek Hill, Taylor, and Russell Wilson, that means everyone must have drafted really well. So my elite teams, I have Jeff, I have Palmer, and I have myself because it's my rankings.
There you go.
So I don't fault you too much with putting you at number 1. This would be the time Palmer plays something about music, and we would go into the transactions. Not a lot, but expectedly, Confederate States of America dropped Dobbins and picked up Damian Williams for $1, which he got auto-drafted Dobbins. Boner and Sweatpants dropped Carson Wentz and picked up the Panthers defense. I'm not sure who the Panthers D plays this week, but I don't know of anyone on their defense that you would add them for. Novaks equals low IQ, don't be dumb. Brought in a Pringle and cut Olsen. Olsen was a Pitt running back that went to Atlanta and got cut, so he's on the waivers, but he's not on the team. Still Agenda dropped the Browns defense, which I think if I'm Joey, I drop the Panthers defense and pick up the Browns defense. They're playing KC, but the rest of the year they're going to get a lot of sacks. And still Agenda added Ramondre Stevenson. And then the big ad of the day, Confederate States of America dropped KJ Hamler and picked up Tyson Williams, who is right now the starting running back of the heavily run Baltimore Ravens. I'm not sure. Latavius Murray's out there now. New Orleans cut him, and he is a...
They signed Devontae Freeman, too.
I saw that. They got Bell and Freeman. I'm not sure why they didn't sign someone with actual abilities, but I'm interested. And you know, with Gus Edwards sucks because he got hurt, but the big thing is they lost Peters.
Yeah.
I don't think Dobbins was the end of the world. I don't think Gus Edwards was the end of the world, but Peters could very well be the end of the world.
Yeah, I actually, for me... I was looking at that Ramondre Stevenson as well. I hear good things. I just didn't have anyone I wanted to drop right now. I think that's a great pickup. The Williams pickup, I'm curious because if he's the fourth running back on their team to begin with, I'm not sure if they'll stick with him.
You got a week 1, maybe week 2 guy.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, running backs are, you can trade, I would assume they can trade a 7th rounder to Houston and get Philip Lindsay at this point. So I don't really see Bell and Freeman, and if they get Gurley or whoever, that they're going to be there for long. I don't know. I just every one of those was for $1, so no one went crazy. Yep, you'll see that first big name that goes down. That'll be the $50, $60 bid. And see, Tim always handled this side of it, so I'm not. We're just trying to get through week 1 issues.
We're working back into it.
We're working back. It's the off season for everybody. All right, so we'll jump into the previews. So first game is myself versus Stu. I'm minus 3 points, and I think you pretty well summed up most of the teams already. Like I said, I love Cook, Montgomery, and Edwards. I think that's a great trio, and I also have Williams, the backup to Deontay Swift. I do think my receivers are a little bit weaker. I think Moore's going to get a lot of targets. I do like Deontay Johnson. He'll get 7 targets a game, a couple, 60, 70 yards, maybe a touchdown. But I think my biggest thing is getting the Rams defense so late. I thought they were number 1 defense.
Yeah, that's a great pickup. I think you're going to win.
I do too. I picked myself. Kamara's going to be tough. Hurts will be good, but I don't think week 1. Mixon is fine. Godwin, we'll find out today. Higgins, you can't have like the Mixon. That stack is interesting. I don't love. I mean, they get a lot of points,
Cincinnati,
but it's a lot of Cincinnati, and it takes one. Their line's awful, and also James Robinson. There's a lot going on with that backfield as well. They didn't really trust him, so they drafted ETN, and then ETN got hurt.
I thought Robinson was a great player last year.
He was a great player last year,
and the fact that they had ETN listed above him, all camp, had me curious.
I also think their head coach is a maniac, though, so I think he's going to have a short-lived pro career like most college stars do. Next game is Joey and Abbott. These are are they in the same division? I don't even know. It's hard with the new divisions yet, but Joey with Dak, Gibson, Swift, Lamb, Corey Davis, Kelsey, and Hunt. Abbott, Brady, McCaffrey, Sanders, Allen, Thielen, Tunyon, Harris. So the Carolina defense is playing the Jets. That's why he took them. I still don't think that's great, but it's something at least. Abbott is minus 3, and I actually like Joey in this one. I like Dak to get a lot of points tonight, and Kelsey is going to get a lot of points.
Yeah, I think they'll both score, but I think everyone else, I'm going with the Brady bunch. I'll take them, minus the points even. I think Brady still puts up a decent amount of points, almost on pace with Dak. And then the running backs and receivers, I think Abbott clearly has an advantage in both of those.
Yeah, maybe. I think Washington with Keenan Allen, I think Washington's going to be putting some heavy pressure on everybody this year. So we'll see what happens. There's a discrepancy. We'll see how it plays out. Next one is Pat and Jack. Jack's minus 2, and that's a quarterback battle. We got Kyler Murray and Josh Allen, and then we have Pat's receivers versus Jack's running backs. If Barkley can be healthy, Barkley and Carson is a vicious combo. I'm taking Jack. I don't know that Sermon and Henderson are going to do what it takes. And there were some... Oh, Diggs versus Steelers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take Jack as well. You know, quarterback's a wash. Jack's 2 running backs are better. Pat's 2 starting receivers are better. But I think DK Metcalf is close enough that he'll be able to keep pace with at least one of them. I don't think Henderson or Sermon will be able to keep pace with Barkley or Carson.
Next game on the docket is Ben's Baloney Boppers and Novak's blah, blah, blah. I'm assuming you're going to take yourself.
I am.
Tags has the crown. He's a champ from last year. This could be your chance to take the crown off his
I'm going to take myself
head.
At least by 7.
Okay, well, Tags is laying 3, so you're going to outright win it and comfortably.
I think I just have a matchup, advantage at every position. My weakest is my second running back. And I think after tonight's game, we're going to see it's not a weakness, and that's his biggest weakness as well.
Let's dive into this one. You think Wilson versus Indy is better than Rodgers versus New Orleans?
Yeah.
You think Taylor? I would agree with you. Taylor versus Henry. I would take Taylor.
It's close, but I'm fine with Taylor.
Yeah. Javonte Williams and Fournette, they can both wash. I don't think either of them really do much.
I think Fournette has a big year.
You've made that quite clear.
I just wanted to
reiterate it. Then you have Hill versus Jefferson. That's a nice matchup, but I will, although Cleveland defense, I would still take Hill. Evans versus A.J. Brown. You're saying Evans is a better play than A.J. Brown?
Yeah.
Are you saying that because you feel that, or are you saying that because it's your matchup?
No, I think I drafted Mike Evans before A.J. Brown went. Or did I? I probably did.
I don't know. I have to look back. Hawkinson is definitely better than Gesicki. Although the San Fran defense,
yeah, I think I'll give him.
I would take Hawkinson.
And, at this point, Hawkinson.
Cooper and Julio. I would take Cooper.
I'll take Julio.
New team, didn't practice much this year.
Doesn't need it.
Okay, well he doesn't, and then I don't care about the defense or the kickers.
Yeah.
Now the Gravity Rainbows versus Crumb Snatchers. So Gravity's Rainbow, I believe, is -4. He has... I don't love Hollywood, but he has a pretty solid team. And on the other side, I don't love Eckler being injured, but that's another solid team. This is a pretty good matchup. This may be the game of the week. I actually took Palmer, I believe, although with him not being here today, I would like to switch that, and I hope he does lose, but I think he will win.
I think it's a good matchup, like we said. I think I'm going to go with Gravity's Rainbow. The Eckler question mark has me a little bit curious.
Huge. Yeah.
Other than that, I think they are neck and neck across the board at every position.
Very much.
I'd assume Najee's going to be better than Mike Davis, but, Najee's a rookie, and he's playing Buffalo, so we'll have to see there. I'm going to go Gravity's Rainbow in a close one.
Yep. Okay, last game of the day. The biggest spread, Bry Guy -5 versus Kurt. Outside of tight end, it looks like Bry Guy has the edge. Although, well, yeah, you got to worry about Zeke. Gaskin, I think Gaskin's in for a really good year. I would take Gaskin over Josh Jacobs versus the Ravens, but ESPN says that Jacobs will beat him.
See, I like Josh Jacobs. I had him last year. I think Bry Guy wins in a landslide.
I agree. I think Bry Guy walks this one. I'm interested to see how Robbie Anderson does. Another Jets receiver that should get a ton of targets.
You know what? He was good last year. He's a solid, sneaky, under-the-radar receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a solid pick by Bry.
Yeah. And the Steelers versus Buffalo, that could hurt him. Do you have another defense? Colts versus Seattle.
He should probably drop the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you carry 2 defenses, but...
I do. I know exactly why he's carrying 2 defenses.
To troll somebody. Man, without music, it's not the same. We buzzed through this one, 25 minutes. Anything...
Yeah, I do have one other thing. I'm trying to look for it now.
What were you talking about? The draft order? I think I have that somewhere. What did you say about
So, well, get back. Do you have any bets tonight on the game? Because we have one fan who texted into the hotline and asked that we put their bet of the night on, and that is Tampa Bay -3 in the first quarter.
Tampa -3 in the first?
Yes.
It seems like a solid, but I think Tampa's going to crush it. I think the spread's 10. It's like 9.5, 8.5, 9.5. I would roll that up into double digits. I'd roll that at 10 if you want to get up to 12. See how many points you can.
That comes courtesy of our number one viewer, Tim Tagmeyer.
So he texted me a few times about when Hammer Down was on today. So I'm assuming he's. I know they were big Tampa guys today, so I'm assuming he is. What's the word when you take other people's work and claim it as your own? Plagiarize. He's plagiarizing Hammer Down.
Do you think he thinks we're the next Hammer Down?
If we had a hammer or in music, we absolutely are. I
could
know
be our
Stu's concerned. We will have our.
So do you think Tim is our executive, Tagmeyer is our executive producer, and he would be the equivalent of a high Met?
Probably, yes. He does smoke a lot too.
You can find him up in the clouds.
Did you see the smoke alarm went off the other day? They go, oh, there's Mitt. I'm gonna. When was the draft? The 29th, or was that a different draft?
No, I think it was. Maybe.
This is gonna take forever. This is when we need Tim to talk us through.
What are you looking up?
The draft order of who went AJ Brown or whoever you.
You'd have to look it up on there.
Yeah. All right. Well, either way, I think we're good for the week. We have a 26-minute showing, so that should be good. I will take the Tampa -3 in the first half. I think that's an easy money bet. Good luck to everyone out there. Good luck to all the fantasy players for our league, except for the ones playing me and you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the divisions?
I like them better this year.
I do too.
I like the matchups. I think it's good to mix it up. And I think, obviously we have the better division, but I think it's pretty obvious the three that are going to make the playoffs in our division.
There is no question that we had the better division. Okay. Barkley, Chubb, Joseph, so I think it's round 2. Where'd you take Evans? You took Evans.
Probably about round 4.
Oh. Jacobs. So what were we talking about? Evans. Okay, Evans was
round 3.
Round 3 in the 11th. And who?
AJ Brown.
I'm assuming. Okay. Yeah, you went 3 picks later. So you had a chance to get AJ Brown, and you took. No, you took him after.
Oh, I did take him.
I
would have taken him before.
Yeah. I took Montgomery. I'm glad that Sanders went before Montgomery. I really wanted to get. I didn't think I was getting Hilaire because you trolled me for weeks doing mock drafts. But I'm glad I got Montgomery. I think
I liked Hilaire.
I know you did. You made it clear. You like 6 tight ends, and Hilaire was on your team at one point. All right. Well, good luck, everyone. We'll get the email back up at some point. I know Tagmeyer's always interested to hear.
And if anybody else wants to fill in as a guest host, let us know.
Till Tim comes back. I really feel like he'll be back soon. Shout out to Dean's Beer. Banana slushy is delicious. You have water today?
I had too many 40s.
You had a lot this weekend. So, all right. Well, we would put music on and fade out, but it's just going to be a dead click this time. So we'll see you next week. Good luck.